Twitch is so much easier to find things on, like the live streams and stuff like that. But
yeah.
Okay, it should be going now.
Yep, it says you're good to go.
Awesome. Well, thanks for the patience, guys. It was struggling there for a second, so yeah. Anyways, we want to talk about the patch notes that are coming out. Caustic Chaos Theory, I keep calling it the wrong thing, is starting next Tuesday, and I am excited. Big changes for our legends. Yeah, let's dive into this.
So what's up, guys? KJ here. We got D on. He's going to be handling the controls. We're going to talk Chaos Theory, and of course, Agent Codes. We're going to take this real quick, and then we're going to jump into some gameplay. So first off, obviously the Nintendo Switch launch is coming out next Tuesday, March 9th, and that's going to be huge. I think it's going to open up a big player base. The one thing I'm probably most concerned about is them hopping into the same lobbies as, say, a PC. During cross-platform. I understand that they have their own lobbies while you're playing, but it's kind of similar to, let's talk about like kind of Fortnite and the mobile app, Those people could never... They either had to be boosted with the aim assist so much that it wasn't fair, or else it really wasn't fair to them to be playing against somebody that was on mouse and key.
Yeah, awesome. Then we got Kasich Town Takeover. So, this looks really cool. It's Caustic Town Takeover is Caustic Treatment, I believe it's called.
Yep, and it's where the old water treatments did.
Yeah, exactly. And so, I mean, this picture right here, we can see just an updated water treatment. You still have kind of your pads out here, your little silos, I guess, that were out here that had the water treatment. We also have its steam coming out. But then when you start looking inside, it looks crazy in here. I mean, you got your gas. I'm assuming the gas doesn't affect everyone.
No, I think it definitely does if you're in it, but maybe not caustic, right? So I think you can obviously run around freely as long as you're not in it, similar to the lava, similar to, any of the other elements that they've added into the game.
Yeah.
But I think it's kind of cool. So you go to those little, I can't remember what they're called.
Like panels?
The locked-in cages, and it has gold loot.
Mm-hmm.
So you do take damage to go get them. And then you come out with gold loot.
Yeah, 4 gold. From what I understand reading this, you have 4 different cages. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm excited for the town takeover. But this is what I think is kind of crazy here, is this Ring Fury Escalation takeover. So as you're playing, when you're within the ring, there will be these kind of solar flares that will come down. And if you're caught in the middle of it, it'll do the exact same damage as a ring. So I'm thinking about like ring 4 or 5 when it's really, a tighter ring and they come down. I understand that we have the heat shields. We'll get into that in a second. But if you don't have a heat shield, you're going to take a lot of damage. It's gonna be interesting there for sure, and then the heat shields.
But, well, 1 second on that, Coates. I know that you used to play PUBG a little bit. Did you? They had these kind of ring things in there, correct? If I remember.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I mean they would just come down and there was a big warning. You could definitely get out of it. It wasn't like a big thing.
Yeah, so I mean it's kind of the same thing. So yeah, I think it will add some big gameplay because I mean if you're camping out in a building and it forces you out, that's going to be some big game plays, big brain plays.
And it says it later on, but these ring flares, they will actually increase in frequency and size later on in the event. So towards the end of the event, in 2 weeks after it the event launches, it will you'll see them a lot more frequently and they'll be bigger.
Yeah, 4 stages.
It's literally going to be chaos.
Yeah. Awesome, our heat shields.
Yeah, and then the heat shields. So the heat shields is how you're going to protect yourself from the ring flares. It can also protect you from the ring if you're in the ring. Now, the cool thing I think about here is that, I want to make sure I'm here. When you're inside the dome, so this heat shield, the use of healing items is sped up by 50%, and I think that's nuts.
Yeah.
The speed of revives is increased by 25%. I think you're going to notice it, but that's not as nuts as a 50% heal items increase.
Yeah. That's healing items. That's not just health. That's shield also, so that's huge.
Yeah. This bonus is only given to the heat shields that have been activated by the ring. So if you're in the ring, will you get that 50% boost on the heal items, 25 on the revive. If not, if you're in a safe zone, if you're within the zone, then it's not going to give you that kind of boost, that increase.
So one thing I was confused. I thought this would be a shield kind of like Gibby's, so they can't shoot in, but I think they can still shoot in. I don't know. I guess we'll find out.
Oh, interesting. I actually really didn't think about that too hard.
I don't know. So I guess we'll find out here on Tuesday. So, yeah.
Okay, so the interesting thing here next is the survival slot. So they have opened up a new slot in the backpack, so you can carry one of those heat shields. And it looks like here you can... Oh, really?
Yeah, there's 2 different bars on here. On this video.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, you're right. But it also says that you could carry a mobile respawn in that survival slot. So I don't know if you can carry one of each, or it has to be 2 of the same. I'm not sure there.
Of the same, I assume.
Yeah. But that'll be nice because, to be honest, the mobile respawns come in handy, and I liked when they introduced them, and then they phased out very quickly because it takes up a whole slot in your backpack. And let's be honest, when you drop a mobile respawn, it takes forever to drop it, it takes forever to bring somebody in, and then you have a big drop ship flying right over top of you. I mean, honestly, it takes about 45 seconds to a minute to get somebody in, and that just, you're luring the whole map. Hey, I'm here. We're at least down one person.
At least.
So I think this is nice because I will carry it. So there's problems with the mobile respawn in general, and for reasons I just said. But I will carry it more often, having it not take up a slot in my backpack and take away my heals and stuff.
No, yeah, for sure. So our next thing is no fill matchmaking. I don't know how I feel about this. I don't know. I feel like Apex Legends is a team-based game. That's why you have legends. That's why you have abilities. I mean, yeah, there are people. I mean, you 3-stack, you drop, and then like your one guy just runs off, usually a wraith, into the capital, and is dead within seconds. So I mean,
yeah,
I don't know.
So I was thinking about this a lot. I think it's the developers trying to make people happy. I mean, all they want is solo mode. Well, choose yourself solo mode, but you're not going to like it because you're going to be going up against 3 stacks, right? Mm-hmm. But on the other hand, we've all jumped into games where you have one player who is just not even with the team and stuff like that. Either you try to keep up, you just leave him, and they always die, almost always. There was one time, I think, D, when we were in and somebody dropped at Capital City, and the Wraith walked away with like 4 kills and then met up with us later, Yeah. But I don't think people are going to use this that much. I do think it'll probably be used more in duos for a single to not fill your team. So basically, default is that it's going to give you whatever game mode you're in, whether it's duos or trios, it's going to give you that many players to make sure you have a full squad. If you uncheck the fill teammates box, which is above the selection mode, then it will not fill your teammates at all. So I think that if you're playing with 2 players, like me, you, D, we hop on and we just don't want a third, we don't want to have to deal with it, but we want to play in the trios lobby, which I'm not sure why we wouldn't just go play in duos lobby, right, at that point. Yeah. But other than yeah. But I see people using it that way, and then I see single players using duos in that same manner. So, I don't think people are going to use this to play singles in a trios game mode. I think it's stupid, too. But to each your own. You guys let us know.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I feel like also it can be nice. You only get, I believe, 6 is what I read. 6 no-fills per lobby, but still, it's quite a bit of teams. I mean, yeah. We'll have 6 really? Potential no-fill players in any match.
Oh, so you could have a potential of 12 less players.
Exactly.
In a trios lobby. Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So starting out with 48 players?
Yeah.
Wow. That's actually going to take a hit to the people who do, who shoot for those 4K and 20 kill games.
Yeah.
I think that's really going to inhibit. That's not going to be an easy batch to get anymore with less players on the map.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, D, if you'll scroll down, obviously we have the Chaos Theory rewards track. That looks nice. You have the Kraber and the Eva 8 as the legendary skins at the end of when you complete your rewards track. They're going to have the extended, what is it called? Extended weekly tasks. What are those called, D? Let me find that.
Just weekly event.
Oh, the extended challenges. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So that will have the unique badges. I think this is the first time in the anniversary series that we saw that, so it's just a continuation from that. And then if you scroll down and look at some of these skins, man, I am loving this Pathfinder skin. I really like the Revenant skin with the faces all over his body.
The Loba's pretty cool too. Yeah, the face of Ash. That's Ash.
Oh, is that Ash's
that's
face?
Ash. Mhm.
But I love this Pathfinder, and look at that skin, man. That's small. I know hitboxes remain the same. Skin. It's not dependent on skin. But doesn't that look so small when it gets to that Pathfinder?
Yeah, and they even changed his. He's no longer low profile.
Yeah, we'll get to it. We'll get to it. We have the Bangalore Heirloom, which I think is really cool. And Bangalore, I'm glad she's getting some love, you know?
Yeah, she's definitely been left out.
And so the story behind it is she took that knife off of a pilot, and since then she's made her own adjustments to it. But that's a cool knife. I like that a lot. It's a cool heirloom. I'm hoping I can get get some shards soon to be able to unlock that. Maybe during the event we'll see what we can do to get all 24 packs.
I'm loving these animations that it has though. They look pretty cool.
Okay, now this is what we're talking about. Legend updates. That's what we're here to talk about. So first and foremost, we'll just start out with Caustic. So everybody's fed up with the Caustic meta in Season 8, and this is one of the craziest things here. Is his Nox Gas Grenade, which is his Caustic's ultimate. The cooldown is increased from 2.5 minutes to 3.5 minutes. So that's actually, it's a little bit less than a 50% increase, but that's kind of insane. It's a whole minute longer. So, I don't know. What do you think, D?
I don't know.
Do you think that will balance him out?
I do. Playing as him the last couple days, like I feel like I always have my ultimate, like all the time, even without even carrying an ultimate set on it. So, I think it's huge. But it the change below. I mean, 5 HP takes instead of 612. I mean, in our last video, you can watch it. I completely took down a guy who just sat in my gas.
Right.
Like, that's huge. Because, I mean, I can't remember what the math, 25 seconds then that they could sit in your gas?
I don't think it's that long. But
or no, it would be 20
I think
seconds.
it's only 12.
20. 5 HP ticks per second, right?
So it'll kill somebody, I guess, then, huh?
Yeah.
At 200?
Yeah.
But I guess you couldn't kill a red Evo shield, right? A player with a red Evo shield.
It does it not do just... It still does health, though, right? Just health. I don't think it hits shield. Well, we'll
interesting. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you only have to deal with that 100.
Yep.
So, yeah.
So Caustic has gotten insanely annoying, and I think this is a way to balance him, but this is a huge nerf to Caustic. I expected a pretty decent nerf, but this is bigger than I thought.
Yeah.
A minute increase on the cooldown of the ultimate, and then decreasing his gas damage just to a standard 5. Like, yes, you're still going to be highlighted to him. Yes, you're going to be slowed down. Yes, you're going to be, getting your health taken away. But my goodness, I don't think it's going to be as scary to get into Caustic gas. Yeah. Not even close.
Yeah, you can actually fight in it and not have to push out. So.
This is interesting, though, these last two sentences here. We will be monitoring the data and gameplay closely. If these changes hit Caustic's appeal or effectiveness too hard, we will revisit accordingly. IMO, in my opinion, I think this is huge, and that we'll actually see a buff come to Caustic to even that out.
Yeah.
That's big.
Mm-hmm. It really is.
Man, and then Pathfinder.
Yep. Remove
the low profile. And I know a lot of the game, the player base has gotten very frustrated with this. He's got he's a fridge walking out there.
Mm-hmm.
He's a fridge. And now there's no more low profile, which is 5% extra, right?
Yeah.
It was a 5% more damage on Caustic, on Pathfinder. So you take that away, he's still going to be a fridge walking out there, but he won't take 5% more damage than the other normal legends.
Yep. Oh yeah. Then we'll go down to Gibraltar. Remove 15% of heal items while using the Dome of protection. I don't know. I think this is only for Gibraltar. I don't play him so much. I don't see this. I don't know. I don't see it's affecting him.
So it's nice when you're in the moment and you recognize it, but it's never something I've ever relied on, and it's not ever something that I've like had to be like, I need to get into my dome to make sure I can heal up because I have that increase.
Yeah.
Well, that is
To me, I was always looking. To me, I was always looking for a more safe place to heal rather than just using the dome as that way. So I'm not going to notice it, but I think other players will.
Yeah.
And
this guy.
it's going to be interesting because I have thought about it when I'm in a fight, and he's popping something. It's like, oh man, he's gonna hit that faster than I think.
Oh yeah.
And now it's gone.
True. By the way, we have been joined by Sleet. He is the one that has been giving a little input, just putting that in who is talking in the background. In case
So we got
You guys want
So once again, we got Foron, we got KJ, we got D, Agent Coates, and Sleet. And we're talking next Horizon. Increased her ultimate black hole cooldown from 2 minutes to 3 minutes. Now it's a 50% increase. That's a big one. However,
do people use their black hole? No, I'm just kidding.
yeah. So Horizon's funny. She came in and made a big splash, and now I am so sick. I hate fighting Horizon. And I guess that means she's good, right? She changes the fight so fast in ways that we honestly haven't seen since Pathfinder was at his 12-second cooldown per zipline, per grapple.
Yep.
So it just changes the whole entire fight and the way you can get back up on buildings and etc. But the black hole is maybe an ultimate that I think is very underpowered in general because it's such an easy counter to be able to shoot that.
Yeah.
You know? So it's interesting to me that they would do that on the ultimate, where I think they could have tweaked her tactical just a little bit to not make her so annoying. But this is an interesting tweak that I'm actually going to be watching because, like I said, that black hole in general isn't necessarily as effective as it was when it first came out.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Now this, Revenant. So let's talk about the change. Revenant Silence now disables Mirage's cloaked revive and respawn, which is crazy. So if you're Mirage, you get silenced, you can't revive and go invisible or respawn at the respawn beacons and go invisible. And it also will silence Octane's Swift Mend. So while Octane is silenced, he will not be regenerating health.
Which I think, yes, that kind of hurts Mirage. Not that much. I mean, I don't know who's responding when the fight's going on around them. But I mean,
Right.
The Swift Med, I feel like that's going to hurt Octane mains pretty bad.
No, I agree. It's actually a pretty decent buff to Revenant, I think, where Revenant is actually becoming a very viable character. Not necessarily competitive, but in the lower tier ranks.
He was used in the last tournaments.
Yeah, actually the last couple, huh?
Question.
What's up?
You guys want to do a 2v2 best of 3?
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, the next one is Watson. So I'm excited for this one. Watson now has a passive
I
shield
cannot believe they
regen.
even did this, but go ahead.
So I mean, this is huge. So I mean, it's only half of Octane's health, so right, it's okay, not that big. But if you think about it, you have that, and you have your pylon right next to you. That's huge. That's so much health you're gonna be getting. And shield, like you're not even have to pop a cell. Like as long as you're not getting hit, you can just heal up. So I don't know. This is crazy to me, especially if you're in a fight and you get that extra, purple to gold, purple to red. Then you're just healing up right away. Like it's not that big of a deal.
Right. And I don't think she needed it. That's what I think is crazy. This is what I'm here to talk about. Is Watson has been part of the meta, especially at a competitive setting, since almost day one. And though she's waned off quite a bit, but I don't know if you remember, Dee, we were talking just 2 days ago, two nights ago, and you said it's crazy with Watson that they've increased the other Legends ability so much that it has kind of put Watson on the back burner a little bit.
Yeah, it really has.
So, they haven't done a lot to her. Yes, they did the pylon change and a little bit of the fence change. I think that was either season 6 or 5. I can't remember off the top of my head. But they've tweaked so many other legends that she's kind of become a little bit a weaker legend because of that. Though she's very strong and she's a huge piece of the meta, especially when you get into higher ranked. Now that I'm in Platinum, and striving towards Diamond right now, I'm starting to see a lot more Watson, and she can be so annoying and a good counter to Caustic. Honestly, just a good counter to everybody with that pylon and the way that it acts. It's kind of insane. This is not a needed change,
But it'll be
and I'm not necessarily happy, but I'm very interested on this. I want to see. What I want to do is I want to figure out where they keep the statistics, because I think right when they make this change next Tuesday, you're gonna see Watson pick percentage, pick frequency, skyrocket. Maybe not necessarily as high as Wraith ever was, Pathfinder ever was, Horizon is, etc. But I think she's gonna get up there.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
Go ahead.
Oh, I said it would just be interesting, especially in competitive mode. I mean, Watson completely dropped off the face of the earth. But, I mean, with this, you might have teams picking her up because she can do more damage as a healing for your team and be able to be more of that defensive player that you need with that buff.
Right.
So,
And we're getting towards the end here, guys. We're going to jump into some gameplay. So stick around, but Rampart. So let's talk Rampart. So Agent Coates has been a Rampart main. He's an OG Rampart main back when she was T-Rash.
Yes, sir.
So the cool thing about this is the explosive damage on the amp cover is just going to take normal damage instead of inflicting 200 when your throwables, your grenades actually hit it. So that's going to be nice. You're not going to be able to clear out her shields as easy. So she's going to be a very, very... she's going to take the place, in my opinion, of Caustic holding up in a building, because you're not going to be able to break it down as quick. Same thing with Sheila. It's going to do normal damage instead of inflicting what was standard 175 damage. So it still took 2 grenades to actually destroy both, say the amp cover and then the Sheila as well. It took 2 grenades to destroy 1 of each, right? But now it's going to be a little interesting, because I think it depends on how close you place it to the amp cover and the Sheila on how much damage it does. So you guys with good precision on throwables is going to be huge.
yeah.
And the last 2 things I want to talk about. Hey, will somebody mute their end who's watching the stream?
Or turn down the stream.
On the Mastiff, the pellet damage is decreased from 13 to 11. I know this doesn't sound right, but instead of doing 104 damage, let's do the math here. How many pellets are there? I kind of forget.
6?
8. So there's 8 pellets. So instead of doing 104, if you hit all 8 pellets, you're only going to be doing 88 damage max. Now I don't know what that necessarily means for a headshot, because I know shotguns don't have an increase in headshot damage as the other weapons do. So this is going to be nice. This is going to be a good balance to the game. I think the weapon meta is pretty balanced in general, with a few outliers, the Mastiff being one. And so this is going to kind of balance that out. Not every legend is going to be carrying a Mastiff plus whatever weapon they choose. Yeah. And then the other one that I think was outbalanced is the Hemlock. And so this is interesting. What the change they're going to do is they increase the hip fire spread, because it was easy to carry a Hemlock and and like a sniper, and using the Hemlock at close range at a hip fire.
Yeah, true. It was.
In fact, go and watch some of D's gameplay.
Because that's what I do a lot.
That's exactly what he does. So this is going to hurt you.
Yeah, it will. But I do think it's worth a note, the Wingman getting an extra bullet per every magazine size, that's huge. Because the Wingman can destroy you. So just watch out for that. Because the Wingman mains are coming back.
Yeah.
So,
and everything else with the quality of life changes just kind of includes the frequency of loot and stuff like that. So tell us what you guys think. We're going to jump into some gameplay, but what do you guys think about some of the changes? I actually think some of the changes were unneeded, but maybe they're interesting to watch, and then other changes are going to definitely balance out whether it be Legends or the weapon meta as well.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks so much, guys. We will be hopefully switching over. OBS has been a pain today for me. So let's see.